All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash, the honor star apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Tada came out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This the brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, it's pretty much like a World War III update type of article I wanted to read. And it's pretty much just showing you that how much closer we are to war breaking out at any moment, because this article is talking about specifically that the Nord Stream pipelines, and this happened last year, I believe, sometime last year when the pipelines were got blew up, and the American media was telling that it wasn't America that did it, and they was trying to just switch it up and say that Russia did it, this and that, and the story didn't make any sense. But now information is coming out revealing what everybody already knew pretty much, which is basically that it was America that did it, and now that was like that the proof is out there, it's pretty much an act of war, and it wasn't proven. So nobody could point the finger directly at America, even though they knew that it was America. But now that information is coming out, and that's what this article is touching on, And before I read some of it, I wanted to read the scripture first. In Matthew 24:6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." And that's right, We've been hearing of rumors of wars, like this whole thing with Russia and America, China, America, all these other countries in America, We've been hearing rumors of wars here and there for many years, And it's only been getting more intense as time has been going on. And now this recent situation, because it's not that old, they just wasn't able to have concrete evidence that it was America that did it at the time that it happened. Now that evidence is coming out, America is being exposed once again for the wickedness that they go around doing, just trying to cause wars and destroy other countries, which everyone already knows that America does. And then they try to act like they're innocent when they're not, And this information is just exposing the truth. So now that this information is newly coming out, this is just going to cause even more attention, Pretty much there's no going back now. World War III is basically right on the other, right on the doorstep of America. That's why recently, if I'm not mistaken, they moved the doomsday clock even closer to midnight. Things are heating up, man. Prophecies are like the apostles deemed this year, man. Lord's will, this be the year that all the prophecies come to pass, man. And you see World War III is like literally any moment can happen. As well as, them pushing the charagma, the mark, all right, pestilence, famine, all these other things going on, civil unrest, Esau coming with that great wrath, all the stages being set for everything to like pretty much happen back to back, real quick. But going back to this verse right here, verse 7, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." And these are the times that we're in, man. You got all type of shortages with foods going on in the markets. All right. The prices on things has become a new norm. So it's not going to go down. They're still doing the interest rate hikes. Things aren't getting any better in this society, man. All right. People are dying from, taking that juice. Then they saying that there's new stuff coming out there, or another pandemic or some type of pandemic that's going to start soon. So things are only going to get worse, man. We're in the beginning of sorrows, all right? And World War III is one of the things that's getting ready to take place, man, very soon. And that's the last thing that anybody wants. When it was that one time earlier on, I think when Biden first got into office, People thought we was finna go to war. Everybody was shook. But now they back asleep once again. Like usual, something happens and then people get scared for a moment, then they go back to sleep, you know. While all this is going on, what is people focused on though? They focus on the Grammys, the Super Bowl, sports, and bread and circus, man. Everything to keep your mind preoccupied from what's actually happening, man. While Esau is sitting here making all type of moves behind the scenes, passing laws and bills to get ready to roll on you people, as well as doing shady things behind the scenes that's going to cause World War III. Leading up to World War III, which is what this article is going into. All right. So I wanted to read some more. So this is from Natural News. It's titled, "Another conspiracy theory has been proven true, and it brings us even closer to nuclear war." It says, "We now know who blew up the Nord Stream pipelines, and it shouldn't be a surprise to any of us. The corporate media tried very hard to convince us that the Russians were behind the sabotage when it originally happened, but that didn't make any sense at all. It took 15 years to build the Nord Stream pipelines, and the total cost ultimately surpassed $20 million or 20 billion. So why would the Russians blow up pipelines that they had invested so much to construct and that were so critical to their own national economy? Sadly, many Americans unquestionably believed the narrative that was being pushed by the Biden administration, but now we have learned that it was the Biden administration that was actually behind the attack." Legendary journalist Seymour Hersh has just published an extremely detailed article entitled "How America Took Out the Nord Stream Pipeline," in which he lays out precisely what happened. If you are not familiar with Hersh, they basically just talk about some of his background on here from a Wikipedia, pretty much showing you that it's a credible dude and not just a random person that wrote an article, you know. And jumping down some, it says, "As you can see, Hersh is not just another journalist. He was winning awards long before many of you were born. And he would never go ahead with a story like this unless his source was rock solid. According to Hersh's source, the plan to blow up the pipelines came from a task force that was originally formed in December 2021. Apparently, Sullivan made it quite clear that the task force was supposed to come up with a plan for the destruction of the two Nord Stream pipelines, and it was also quite clear that Sullivan was delivering on the desires of the president. For the past 2 years, I have been repeatedly warning my readers that Jake Sullivan is a big-time warmonger, so it is not exactly a shock that he was directly involved in this decision. According to Hersh's source, those that were a part of the task force definitely understood that blowing up the Nord Stream pipelines would be an act of war. So now that the fact that we have committed an act of war against Russia has been revealed for the whole world to see, how will Russians respond? And that's basically, since this is recently coming out to light, now, the spotlight is on America, man. All right. And I'm going to jump down some. This is pretty much just going into in detail to what happened, pretty much, and the stuff I'm skipping over about how they used that the Ball-Top 22 military exercises to plant the bombs and then set them there to detonate at a later date around September, and then they blew it up. So then it wouldn't be too close to the date that they had the little military exercises, because then it would have been easy to link it to it being America, pretty much. So Esau thought he was being slick, but he always gets exposed, once again. And I want to just jump right here. When asked about Herschel's bombshell story, the White House responded by calling it completely and utterly false, The spokesperson for the White House said the report is false and complete fiction. A spokesman for the CIA said this claim is completely and utterly false. But what else can they do? If the Biden administration admits the truth, it is likely the Biden will be impeached. Needless to say, the Russians were exceedingly interested in this report, and they are demanding answers. Yeah, man, so nobody's believing Esau's story, man, because like they said further up in the article, what sense does it make for them to invest so much money and spend so much time building those pipelines to blow their own pipelines up? That's literally stupid, you know? What person does something like that? You put all this money into something and build it up and then just destroy it, you know? So all they can do is just basically keep on trying to dodge the truth. Just say that it's false, it's not true, this and that. But then further up in the article, it was going into how this dude, he's been awarded many awards for bringing out true, revealing the truth pretty much. But going back to the scriptures, I want to read real quick Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that second woe is the Second World War. And the third one is coming quickly, man. And you can see that, like the article said, this is just bringing us closer to nuclear war. Because now, in this time and age that we live in, everybody has nuclear missiles. Everyone could press a button and shoot off missiles, man. All right. And one of the countries that are, or nations that's going to come against America is Russia. All right. They're going to be one of the many people that's coming against America because everybody's tired of America messing with them, man. And Esau is super sloppy with his work. He thought he was going to be slick. He planned out everything. Like if you read the stuff I had skipped over in the article, it basically goes into how they came up with this whole plan like a year or two in advance, used a little military exercise drill to be slick and plant the bombs, and then in their mind they say we're going to detonate it later down the line, like months later or whatever, and then it can't be linked to us because it's not directly right after our military exercises, and it's still getting linked right back to you. You're getting exposed. All right, but the third woe coming quickly, man. And like I mentioned already, that's why they moved the doomsday clock closer to midnight, even closer than it already was. Why does it keep moving forward and never back? Because there is no, going back for America, man. It's only going forward on to being destroyed, man. All right, and there's a set time that Yahweh Shem Yahushai has for this place to be destroyed. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get Habakkuk, the second chapter, It's Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And the prophecies are not tarrying, man. All right, that third woe is coming quickly, man. It's right around the corner. All right, and they're speaking. You're seeing all the things leading to the end of America, man. The last prophecy is being fulfilled. World War III, pestilence, famine. All right, the mark, the collapse of America. All these things are taking place, man. Famine. It's not being mentioned on the mainstream media, but if you're looking into what's happening behind the scenes, man, a whole lot of things are going on where everybody's just caught up in trying to watch the sports, playoffs, Grammys, this and that. Caught up in whatever in your little circle, your little bubble that you're in, because you don't want to look into what's the reality of the matter. All right, nobody wants to look at the truth of what's going on because it's not anything so-called positive to them, because their outlook is that America is going to be here forever and this is all that they got. But we understand that this isn't the end, man. All right, this place it needs to go. All right, and it is going to go very soon, sooner than later. And now that this information has came out, that's just putting even more attention on America, man. And it's already, these other countries are already forming their alliances, getting rid of the dollar, getting outside of dealing with America, man. All right. So like I read in Matthew's 24th chapter, all these things are the beginning of sorrows, and it's only going to be getting worse from this point moving forward. All right. Now, another scripture I want to get is in 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And that's how bad things are getting out here, man. That's how bad it's going to be. You know, we still ain't even came into the time of Jacob's trouble yet. So who's going to deliver you in those days, man? We know that the masses of our people, they're not going to be saved. And you can't deliver yourself, man. You need divine intervention. All right? That's why we're praying and hoping that Yahweh Shem Yahushua delivers us in those days when these things come to pass, man. When all these things are actually happening. World War III going down. The mark being instituted, mandated, you know. All hell breaking loose. Hey, we still going to choose keeping faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right. Continuing on, it says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And that's the times that we're in, man. The beginning of famine and great death, wars, all these things getting ready to take place. And they're not going to be like, they don't, from how it's looking, you know, they don't look like things are going to be placed out far from each, you know, far spaced out from each other. It's going to damn near be like a domino effect, all happening, you know, back to back, so to speak, man. All right. That's why you got to stay on your watch, like it says in Habakkuk, the first verse, man, the second chapter in the first verse, man. You got to stand upon your watch, man. Because a lot of things are going on, man. We can't afford to be asleep, you know, like these people here, man. Because if you're asleep, you're going to be caught up in that destruction. Everybody in this world, they're the walking dead, you know. They don't have a clue what's actually going on, man. You believe in every last story Esau tells you. You trust in your government. You don't have a clue of what's coming down the line. So you finna get blindsided by all this destruction and hell that's coming in America, man. By the time you realize that it's World War III really finna happen, when Esau tell you getting drafted, you know. By the time you realize that the famine is actually here, you already out of food. And the food in the stores, you ain't going to be able to afford it, if it is anything to even buy. Because Esau doesn't tell you ahead of time to get ready, man. If you're not looking out for looking out already to see it, he going to tell you when it's already here, you know, when it's already happening. But continuing on, it says, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's all that's going to happen, man. People are going to think they in good case because this dude, you know, Biden, he's talking about how all these different jobs and stuff he created, but people still can't afford a damn thing out there, man. You know? And evils are just growing upon the earth at this point, man. The sword, famine, and judgment, basically death is just on the way here, man. And you're going to continue to see things just spiral out of control with America just moving forward. It ain't no bringing it back, no building back better, all this other madness that the president pushes and tells the people, trying to, well, matter of fact, yeah, I'll grab the First Thessalonians real quick too, because that's basically the only message that they push when he always has his speeches and stuff. All right, I'll wrap up on this because that was the main point of me reading the article, just showing you that we're that much closer to World War III, man. All right. And a lot of the things, this is why you have to pay attention to what's happening, man. Really look into what's going on around the world. Because the regular news is not going to tell you all this type of information. It's not going to let you know what's coming, what's really going on, man. You gotta look into that stuff. You got to find that stuff out. Because Esau, the regular mainstream media channels, Fox News, CNN, and all that other garbage, they ain't telling you nothing, man. But I'm going to read this in 1 Thessalonians 5. I must just start from the top. It says, "But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." And that's exactly how this is coming, man. As a thief in the night. All right? While everybody else is literally, nobody has a clue about this information, about the Nord Stream pipeline. Nor do they even care about that whole situation that happened in the first place. If you talk to an average person on the street, like, average person in general, and ask them, do they know about it? I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even know what the hell that is. If you asked them about it, do you know what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline or what it's about? That's how docile people are in America, though, where they don't pay attention to what's happening. They don't have a clue of what's happening, and they just believe whatever the narrative is being told to them by their government, Verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a child, or upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." And that's exactly what's getting ready to happen, man. All right. Every time this dude Sleepy Joe go out to speak, all he say is this garbage, positive stuff like, "Oh, we're doing good. Well, all these jobs are doing great. This and that." Man, ain't nothing good. They're telling you peace and safety, but the whole time, World War III is around the corner. Famine is around the corner. The economy is on the brink of collapsing. Jobs are still firing hella people. But he's telling you the complete opposite. Things are getting better, that they're getting good. This and that. Look at the numbers. It's all a whole psyop, man. But it's the masses of the people who are falling for it, man. All right, the ones who are actually paying attention and in the spirit and know what's going on, man. You can see the lies clear as day. All right. Hey, so this place is out of here, and World War III is right around the corner, man. But we're not worried about none of that, man. Because we got Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're going to keep our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. All right. To be protected and have a hedge of protection around us in the times to come. Okay. Hey, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give all praises again to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.